Welcome back to the channel, Battlefielders. I have chosen the NTW-50 sniper rifle as my first gun review, naturally because it does everything that you need. It hurts people, it hurts vehicles, that makes me happy. All things considered, I want to break this down, talk about the good things, the bad things about this weapon, and if you enjoy this content, please leave a thumbs up as it helps the video get out there. Subscribe and tick the bell so you do not miss any future gun reviews just like this. So let's begin with the in-game stat. It comes in with the game's highest firepower of 95. This stat is only tied with the DXR. The accuracy of 67. Can we get a nice in the comment section, boys, for that range? Handling at 25. And a rate of fire of 24. Those are the base statistics of this weapon. The magazine and zoom level are influenced by the scope that you prefer. Taking a look at these attachments, as you can see, this gun is bare bones. There's not a lot of customization options for this weapon, and that's due to its strength. The underbarrel and barrel come stock how they are, and you can't change those. The sight is strictly preference for what you want. The ammunition are the only two real differences between the two, and anti-material high power is what I personally recommend. The standard ones are actually kind of weaker, if you will. It's got 5 less handling and less magazine size. That's going to be significant because 3+1 compared to 4+1 is a significant difference. The only real drawbacks or additional drawbacks to the high-powered rounds are recoil control, which is really insignificant for a gun that has such a slow rate of fire and chamber time that you can easily recenter. So I don't understand why that's a drawback in the first place. And the projectile velocity, which I personally didn't notice at all. That being said, this is how I would run this weapon. So what can you say about a gun that can one-shot a person and take out a tank in a single mag? Beyond the fact that it's absolutely amazing. Does it have drawbacks and flaws? Yeah, but how do you balance something like this? So first off, they go after the rate of fire. Now this thing takes time to chamber. Realistically, you take a shot and you need to duck behind cover for a couple seconds if you want a good follow-up. This is not a kind of get-in-your-face sniper rifle. It's not even the kind of sniper rifle that you want to be out at a distance. This gun excels in medium range, because if you do miss that shot, realistically, it's going to be your death. So some basic stats about this gun before we start talking about how to use it. The gun hits for 110 damage to infantry, which means that it will one-shot infantry out to 100 meters, with the exception of somebody wearing armor. So if you have like a 20 pack of armor from somebody like Angel, you are capable of surviving a single shot with 10 health remaining. Wonderful. Another need for you guys to start using these as more people unlock this gun at level 60. That being said, the anti-material weapons and the different rounds are still going to affect infantry all the same. Both versions of the magazine hit you for 110. The only thing that is impacted by those two different rounds is the ammo capacity, which can go up to 5, and the handling gets a little bit better on the high-powered rounds, but also it hits vehicles harder, which is what allows it to get those 4 and 5 shot kill thresholds on the armor. Now, it's really neat because it kind of is the total package for an all-around player, but you have to play to the strengths because the drawback of the rate of fire is extreme. The recoil is no problem because of the slower rate of fire. The handling is no problem. The real drawback of this weapon is how slow you can squeeze a shot off, shot after shot. All things considered, an actual experienced sniper is still going to prefer the SWS or the DXR over this. Realistically, you can pinch off 2 or 3 shots before you can get your second shot off with this weapon with the other 2 sniper rifles out there. So I will be completely honest with you. This is a very easy to use weapon. That's where the draw and appeal is that you can shoot and with one button push, eliminate and erase somebody from the battlefield. Very much like how the satisfaction of a shotgun usage or a slug round can be. So it feels very rewarding, but it is high risk versus high reward. If you miss, realistically in close quarters, you are dead. So you don't use it in close quarters. You don't want to use it out to distance either because the drop off due to the velocity of this weapon is another one of the drawbacks of this weapon. So it is a lot harder to use than the other 2 snipers in the game, especially with range sniping. I would not advise you guys going over 200 or 300 meters with this thing because you're going to notice it's going to be significantly harder to hit the head or even the body. So I wouldn't use it like a traditional sniper either. Like I said, the threshold for this gun is in the medium range, and it does really well between, I'd say, 50 and 200 meters. That's where I think it flourishes. And with that being said, as I said, velocity is a drawback of this weapon. It may not seem like a big deal, but the moment you start using this for extended periods of time and you start trying to duel other snipers, you will lose those 9 times out of 10. Not because you didn't pull the trigger first, but because for some reason, because when I duel a lot and I feel like we shoot at the same time, or even I shoot right before them, I die before the bullet even leaves the chamber. I know it sounds really weird and you're gonna pick up on this yourself, but dueling other snipers is a dangerous thing with this weapon. This is the kind of weapon you want to pick people off running through a field or laying down with. You don't want to duel with this weapon because realistically it's going to end in your demise. You don't want that to happen. You want to pick off unsuspecting people if you can. Not saying you can't successfully kill somebody with an AR or something like that. I'm just saying it's a lot harder, and if you choke, you're dead. And I guess it gives you control, but you never know what happens. So, all things considered, it's very, very strong. Now, what it offers to the battlefield that the other snipers do not is the flexibility of being able to take out armor. Armor is overwhelming in this game, to say the least. The drop-in menu, the amount on spawn, it's just a constant wave, especially in Breakthrough, of vehicles coming right at you over and over again. So the fact that you have large capacity, the fact that the velocity is much more significant than something like the recoilless rocket makes it a better alternative to taking out vehicles. Not to mention that the recoilless, with the spawn in of 3, isn't even capable of killing a tank on its own, but I can do it with 1 mag of my sniper rifle. And I think that is absolutely amazing. And even after this apparent first nerf, it's still very viable unless that for some reason hasn't gone through. But I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was looked at further down the line and kind of reduced a little just to bring it in line with the recoilless. Either way, this is probably one of the best options for anti-vehicle in the game, and the fact that it's capable of one-shotting enemies just makes it all that more attractive to me. So don't sleep on this weapon. It's a very easy to use weapon. It doesn't take a lot of skill to use, but there are drawbacks if you miss and you screw up. So that being said, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and I will catch you with another video soon. Let me know what gun you would like to see next in this series.